Hello Andy and welcome to your weekly review. So covering any questions first. When both aim shot and rapid fire are on CD and you have between 50 to 70 focus, is it better to arcane shot or steady shot? In this focus range I would pretty much always arcane shot because the best place to be at focus wise is like somewhere like below 55 focus is a good place to be, because that's the point at which you can aim shot on CD with no problem, and you can follow it up directly with an arcane shot. It's not like a hard rule, you know, the Simulation Craft APL, which is programmed to play perfectly, does not do any of this. But I think for like a human play and just the way you should think about it is you want to be as far away from the focus cap as possible while still making it easy for you to hit aim shot off cooldown. The only thing preventing you from hitting aim shot directly off CD should be movement, not focus. Because, you know, it's difficult enough to manage movement as this spec without also having to worry about having enough focus to cast the arcane aim shot at the right time. So 50 to 70 focus, definitely arcane. I would only start steady shotting if you're below 40, generally speaking. My pillar damage on Sludgefist feels very inconsistent. Okay, it is always going to be inconsistent, and there's not that much you can do to fix it or improve it. The main thing you need to do is, so each pillar phase lasts 12 seconds. And if you have, say, you know, pretty normal amount of haste, like 10% plus steady focus, then your aim shot cooldown is going to be, you know, 9 to 10 seconds. So that means that if you go into the... it essentially means that you will never be able to get more than 2 aim shots into every pillar phase. Specifically, you can get 2 aim shots and a rapid fire into every pillar phase, assuming you don't have CDs. With CDs, of course, the main thing is that you want to drop your wild spirits and all that stuff before the pillar actually begins. Not a long time before, but just like 2 seconds. So that by the time that he actually collides with the pillar and his debuff begins, then you're already casting an aim shot. That's gonna land basically just as he hits the pillar, and that means you've maximized the time. Because the time you spent casting that aim shot and setting it up was all outside of the pillar, while during the pillar phase itself, which is very short, you're only focused on doing damage. So to recap, outside of CDs, your goal is to go in with 2 aim shots and a rapid fire. The rest should just be arcane shots, ideally. And you just dump, like you start out with a close to full focus bar, and you end the phase with close to 0 focus. So that's the main thing outside of CDs. Of course, the biggest impact is going to be your CDs themselves, but that's really no different than doing your CDs at any other time. It's just a matter of setting it up in a way that is well timed. And what most people do is, like, they'll see the pillar, and then they'll put down the wild spirits, and then they'll start, you know, pumping. But it should be, you put down your wild spirits, then he hits the pillar, then you start pumping. And of course, you don't want to like pop down a wild spirits and wait for 5 seconds, you know. So you're gonna practice that timing. Because another thing that's important is, you know, you want to go like steady shot to refresh steady focus into wild spirits into the start of your pump. All right. So with that covered, let me check your actual VOD. Let me just see if since I'm 6 days from this review, let me just check if you've done any more recent ones. Character name was Andy J. Okay, so it's Sludgefist prog, it looks like. So if I just look up your character here, and I see some council wipes today. Okay, so you've been wiping on Sludgefist for a while, so I would imagine you... Okay, maybe not that night, it's very good. Okay, yeah, so you've been pretty close. 2% wipe, how did you do here? I'd be curious what your one of your stronger attempts would look like. Unless you link the timestamp, but it doesn't look like it. So I just want to find like one where you played as close to optimally as possible. Because of course that's going to be more useful than looking at something that you are not proud of. Let's see. This is sludge, sludge, and that. Okay. Then I find all the purple attempts. Then no purple attempts here, no here, no here. Okay, so just look at your strongest one of these, all around the same length. I don't know why I said purple attempt, by the way, they're clearly orange. This is 4.4k, this is 5.8, 5.6, 5.9. Okay, so the 5.9 here, that was on the 19th, 7 days ago, so that's this one, and this pull started at 5:01 a.m. But that's my time zone, and if you're East Coast, you're gonna be at 11, so that's gonna be 2 hours and 2 minutes into this, where the pull begins. Let me just verify that it's true. 5:01. No, I miscalculated. Be a bit further back. I think it's actually an hour later. No, it can't be. Sorry, I'm spending so much time just finding the actual VOD. Maybe it's an hour sooner. I'm wondering if I'm just stupid. I'm looking at your clock up there, and I'm just trying to find very best attempt. It was wipe number 32. Wait, so it's actually the last pull of the whole night. And is that this one? I feel like there's a difference between these best pulls and the ones in your VOD here. Okay, so it looks like your stream may have ended a bit early. Okay, but that's fine. We just find the second best one. And that's gonna be 5.6, 5.8, and that's 2:48 a.m. Wipe 10. That would be around 39 minutes. Just verify this is one of the lower pulls. It is. Okay, wonderful. We got somewhere. Alright, here we go. So first thing I notice is that you're not precasting double tap early enough. It's very important that you precast double tap like as early as possible, like at the 10-second mark, because otherwise you're not gonna have it back for the first pillar, which happens like before the 1 minute mark. So you see, if you're now gonna use, didn't mean to open that. You're now gonna use double tap, 3 seconds before the fight starts. This is not gonna be up comfortably in time for the first pillar. Something I'd also, so I'd also recommend so you should really do an alternative opener here, which is you precast the steady shot at the 2-second mark, and then you go steady shot, so 2 steady shots with one of them being precast, then you go into your CDs directly, instead of doing this aim shot precast. The reason for that is that if you do aim shot precast and then double steady and then CDs, then you get into your CDs like one global later than you would if you had just precast steady shot. So by skipping the aim shot, that means you get into your CDs faster. But most importantly, it means that at the 2-minute mark, for the second pillar, you'll have your CDs up just a few seconds earlier, which means you can pre-place it, which is what I rambled on at the start of this video. So that's a small min-max you can make. So combine that fix, steady shot precast into steady shot directly into CDs, with an earlier double tap. But since you're not precasting an aim shot, that means you cannot double tap at 14 seconds like you can on other fights. But you can double tap at 10 seconds. Double steady here, and then you pop your CDs. Aim shot. So let me just try and like make sense of your rotation down here. So go aim shot. Okay, it's because you're getting a lot of procs. Here casting double steady shot, even though aim shot is sitting on 2 charges. So like you really don't want to, double steady shot is fine, but it should be like right after you have spent all of your aim shot charges and you're down to 0. Then you do a double steady, because that way the double steady is not gonna like delay your aim shot or rapid fire or anything, which is what you don't want. So here you're casting this aim shot even though you have a precise shot stacks available, which is a no-go. I also don't see... Okay, so you are tracking steady focus here, but I think this number is just too small. Steady focus should be much more central because it guides your decision making so much along with your focus level. And also think your focus level should be like up here. And just way more obvious. Like many would say, well, this is quite obvious, it's right in the middle of the screen, but like it needs to not only be in the middle of your screen horizontally, but also vertically, which means a bit closer to the bottom of your character, along with your precise shot stacks counter and your steady focus timer, because those are really the things that guide the most of your decision making. Alright, so now I'll do a double steady. Straight into aim shot, and rapid fire is available. So here you're spending your arcane shot stacks instead of going straight into rapid fire. This is a pretty common mistake. Remember that like spending your precise shot stacks is not that high of a priority. You just have to get it done before your next aim shot. Casting rapid fire off cooldown is way more important. We do here. So now you're doing double steady even though you're close to the focus cap. So you see here, you're mid steady shot, you're at 88 focus. What's going to happen now is you're going to hit the focus cap. Only for like a split second there, but like a few focus went to waste because you elected to cast steady shot when you were at max focus. And as we mentioned in the beginning of the video, like if you're at 50 to 70 focus or higher, which you were in this case, the right play is arcane shot. So here there's a few seconds where like as you're running to your rotation, you're actually facing away from the boss and you're not doing any damage. What starts happening like right around here, you do these 2 steady shots. And then look what happens, like if you look down here, you cast this arcane, now you can't cast that steady shot. You have that bit of downtime there. Alright, see how do you head into these. So, will this... Oh, I'm worried if this aim shot is gonna hit right before he hits the pillar. Okay, looks like it's just gonna make it, but it's very tight. And you've basically saved up 1.5 aim shot charges, which is good. There's 9 seconds left on rapid fire, which means since it's a 12-second pillar phase, that you can just sneak the rapid fire into the final phase. So overall, this is a good setup. My main complaint is that you don't have a fresh steady focus going into it. And of course, double tap is coming. So this is what comes back to what I mentioned in the beginning. The double tap is going to come off CD just as he hits the pillar. But if you had precast it earlier, then you could have double tapped a few seconds ago. And your double tap would have gone into this aim shot right here. And you wouldn't have had to worry about casting this extra, like, damageless global during the pillar phase. Honestly, like, we might need, I'd say you should definitely have cast that aim shot a bit later. There's a small chance that it hit before, after you hit the pillar. But, like, unless you have, like, slow-mo vision superpowers, I think it's a bit risky to cast the aim shot that early because it was literally like we might need a slow motion camera to detect what hit first. Anyway, now, you pop the double tap. Steady shot is about to expire, so now we'll do double tap into steady shot into aim shot. So you do double tap into steady shot, and then you do 3 steady shots. That's your big issue here, because once again, exact same situation. 88 focus, 1 second left on steady focus. You're gonna cap on focus. There's only a few seconds left of the pillar phase already. Just like, the pillar phase should be where you spend all your focus that you saved up beforehand. It shouldn't be where you generate it. So the only reason you should steady shot it here at all is to put up steady focus. Not anymore. Aim shot is fine. Then you're just gonna catch the very end No, actually, what I think, yeah, so yeah, okay, so you sneak most of that rapid fire. And overall, it was okay. I just think you ended it with very high focus, when really the goal is to end the pillar phase with low focus, because that means you spent all of it inside the window where all your focus is worth twice as much. So you do arcane here, then you do aim shot, and since you're close to the focus cap, you do double arcane right after. So here, like, once again, you elect to and I trust like this will be fixed after we talked about it here, but like you had 50 focus, they're both off CD. This is the exact situation we talked about, right? And you elect to steady shot when really the right player is to arcane shot right now. And then what's worse is that you do the steady shot, but then you actually break up the chain and you cast steady shot, arcane, steady shot. And now you're not gonna get a steady focus refresh out of those two steady shots. Whereas if you just committed to the double steady, then you could have at least gotten a steady focus refresh out of it. Or alternatively, if you had committed to the arcane shot, then you could have just refreshed the steady focus after that. Aim shot, and that should be straight into rapid fire, but look, you've already queued the arcane shot by reflex. Because you have this missed priority of you're prioritizing precise shot stack spending over rapid fire off CD. You see here it happens again, and then you pop rapid fire. Every time you push it back a global, and over time that's gonna lose you casts, especially if we get 2 precise shot stacks out of your aim shot. Here once again you cast that steady shot even though you're at like 70 focus. And here you're spamming aim shot even though it's actually it's on CD. So now you have a shit ton of downtime where you're just not casting anything because you're not aware enough of your focus and your aim shot cooldown at the same time. So this is like, it's a matter of attention, but it can be helped by fixing up your UI to be, firstly, I guess, more aware of your aim shot CD, because you shouldn't be hitting an ability that is on cooldown. You should know that it's on cooldown, and you should be hitting other abilities. And now for the whole, because you wasted all that time when you were close to the focus cap, where you should have been spending your focus on arcane shots. Now, while you're casting your aim shot, you hit the focus cap. Double steady. Once again there, you start like tapping aim shot a bit, even though it's on CD. And then like when you're not sure what to do, you go into that steady shot and you're so close to the focus cap all the time that you're constantly riding up against it. It's like driving your car in a very low gear so that it's on like max revs and at the red line constantly. Alright. Let's see, so curious. Okay, so now the next CD window is gonna be coming up. And what you should be doing here is like, okay, so I think you've set it up decently. Now your big prio is so after this steady shot cast ends, you need to go double tap and you need to pump your wild spirits and you need to pump as quickly as possible. So let's see what you do. Okay, so you pop the wild spirits into the double tap. That's also fine. Like, it doesn't really matter on the order that much. Then into aim shot. So you also have another bad habit, which is even during true shot, you don't go aimed, rapid aimed. You go aimed, arcane shot, rapid fire. Because you're over prioritizing spending those precise shot stacks immediately when really you don't have to. Especially during true shot. Like, it's pretty rare. I mean, well, it's not rare. You're gonna probably arcane shot once or twice every single true shot. But it's very rarely in the beginning of it. It's something you do towards the end. So, aimed, rapid aimed is always the best way to start out your CD window. Now you have a bit of downtime here, like unpaused, and I just see, I expect the cast to come, but like a half second passes, you're not pressing any buttons. Now you're not pressing any buttons. Like, the reason you're not getting good pillar windows is because you spend like a good third of them not pressing your buttons. You just AFK. And I think I can demonstrate it if I can pop you into WoW Analyzer here. And I'll find like 10. And I'm gonna find second pillar. You see, oh wait, no, here it is. Like here you spend like over a second just not casting any spells, even though rapid fire was available for all this time. This should have been aimed, rapid, aimed. But instead you do aimed, arcane, AFK, rapid, and then you continue. And you should never really do 2 arcanes in a row during true shot. You see how long aim shot spends on 2 charges? This is really bad. So yeah, improvements to be made for sure. Here once again, rapid fire sitting off CD, it's just being neglected. Okay. Now you let aim shot hit 2 charges because you're over prioritizing steady focus here. Like the main goal of the rotation, well, at least goal number 1, is never to hit 2 charges of aim shot. And here, like while you're moving, even though you're at the focus cap, you keep casting steady shot. So it seems like, people have, as you might know, one of the main things about MM is that you never want to stop casting, right? As I've already pointed out that you do sometimes, like leading into CDs, mid CDs here. Here you spend like a second not casting anything, and so on and so forth. And you end up like spending, pretty substantial. Well, normally there's a downtime figure here, but sometimes it bugs out and doesn't show it. But point is, you basically never want to stop casting for anything, like right here. But I lost my train of thought. Yeah, okay, so when you're not sure what to cast, you should have a backup plan. And for most people, that backup plan is steady shot, which is wrong. The backup plan should be arcane shot, because it's way better to cast too many arcane shots than it is to cast too many steady shots. I'd much rather see you focus starve yourself by casting too much arcane than focus overcap yourself by casting too much steady shot. So like the button you're spamming when you're just doing a mechanic or you're not really sure maybe what you should do and you're not fully focused on your rotation, it should be arcane shot, not steady shot. I'm curious about this. So you could do this aim shot. And then what's coming up? So no mechanics are happening, but you cast this acceleration for not much reason. So like right after this aim shot, you queue up your Excel directly. And it just doesn't seem to like do much because there's no rate damage happening right now. There's so much time to, and here like you keep casting those steady shots, focus capping yourself. Obviously there's a bit of damage going on here, but like if you're not stacking with others, it's a pretty small amount of health, and you could have, I feel like you just kind of threw away your acceleration there. Here once again you're casting aim shot, even though you have a stack of precise shots available. Double steady, arcane into rapid fire is what I do. Here once again, like you way over steady shotting. Like rapid fire is available right now, but you're casting steady shot instead, even though you just put up a fresh steady focus. And it's because like you were not thinking about your rotation at that moment, or that's how it looks to me. So you were focused on, being spread here, and you're like, well, okay, I'm focusing on that right now. I'm just gonna hit steady shot. You should be able to do your rotation and do this, which means you should be able to you should have constant awareness of like certain things, which is what you do with your UI. Your focus, your steady focus timer, and the CDs if you aim shot and rapid fire. Like you could remove almost everything else from your screen besides the boss stuff, and you could play MM almost perfectly with just that knowledge. Okay, maybe you need to see your actual CDs, but like the fundamental rotation is just those few factors. And precise shots stack, of course. You want, so here, like as you're moving into precision, you're facing away from the boss, which just costs you uptime. So this is the 3 minute something mark. And if we go here, I think I can see it. So here, you also do this. So do a turtle here. I'm trying to work out. That's the 3:12 mark. Okay, so you pop a turtle here. And then he hits the pillar. Like, you spend so much time in turtle before he hits the pillar, when you only need to turtle the instant that he hits the pillar. And that means you go into this pillar with like no steady focus. Like everything is just a mess because the setup is so, like there's so many holes in the rotation leading up to it here because you're facing away. Spend half a second not casting here, half a second here, and then you spend a whole second where you're just running away from the boss, and then you turtle for like 4 seconds, even though you only need to turtle for like, less than half a second. And then when you go into your CDs again, it's like, oh, what do I do now? Well, double tap, but then you go AFK for like 2 seconds here while moving. And you end up in this window. He hits the pillar at maybe like 313, and it's gonna last until 325. Like these are all the casts you get into this pillar. It's like an arcane, a single aim shot, and a rapid fire. That's all you do for this pillar. When it should be like you're filling the pillar with all kinds of stuff. Let me try and see if I can demonstrate in my own log here. So I will just go check the actual timer. So third pillar happens at 3:14 for us. So we go here. How am I setting up for 3:14? So double steady shot, a double tap precast, and then at the 3:14 mark, I'm already starting my aim shot cast. I'm just going straight into rapid fire, and then I spam the heck out of arcane shot. And then I managed to squeeze in the second aim that I talked about. So, I managed to get the 2 aim shots and 1 rapid fire, and the rest is just primarily arcanes because I've bled all my focus dry. So this is the ideal CD window. And if you compare that to yours, you spend like the first few seconds of it turtled, and then you just cast like all these weak abilities. And double tap is a wasted global because you could have popped it, as I do, just in the global leading up to it. So yeah. And similar stuff for the for every pillar really. So this is gonna be the big one with lust and everything. Most important time of your entire life, basically. Inslang goes out. Okay, so we have already lost them. Just want like, has he hit the pillar now? Oh, he hasn't. Okay. Okay, here he is. Okay, so let's like slow motion critique this CD window. Let me just go back here. Okay, stuff is available. Getting ready. You're spending a lot of time not casting anything on the boss right now. Double steady. You just about managed to get it off. Well, actually, no. You're going into the CD window with no steady focus. And he's already hit the pillar, and you still have double tap unused. You haven't popped your CDs yet. It's just a mess, right? Like now you pop your CDs, but like you are like I was about to say you're lining the boss, but I don't think so. I think it's better for me to look at this in he hits the pillar like here, right? And you spend some time, then you pop your CDs. Like, look, you spend the first 4 seconds of your CDs just not pressing any abilities, and then you go into it. Everything is just delayed. At this point, I think you just barely managed to sneak in this double tap aim shot. It's just about hits. But like compare this to my CD window here. It's full of cast. Like I'm aim shotting like there's no tomorrow. I'm still managing to hit these rapid fires off CD. Whereas if you compare to you, like you pop your CDs, then you do nothing. Rapid fire is available, aim shot is available. Then you pop them. But then you have to pop the double tap, and it hits 2 charges almost immediately because you have so much haste. You cast like kill shot and all these other abilities, completely ignoring rapid fire and everything. So yeah, I mean, you spend a lot of the most important parts of the fight not casting any spells. That's the main thing. There's a lot of damage that just didn't happen here, and it was a very low wipe. So this is the kind of stuff that, if there's any fight where this matters, it's this one. But yeah, hope that helps. Any questions at all, let me know on Discord. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.